My move. Really love doing this. What's up, guys? Saturday. So thanks for tuning in for my authentic share week on really topics about myself, who I am, and everything like that. And now what I'm going to be doing is moving forward. I'm really going to be doing lives like this for, I don't know, more than a month. I really just want to continue to show up each day and touch on a topic. And the topic today that I'm touching on is the change cycle, which I've spoken about this before, but it is definitely not a video that should be missed because I don't think we realize what our change cycle is. So there's 5 changes to the change cycle, and so let's say that I'm wanting to start making a change and going to the gym. I'm just going to use the gym as an example because, well, why not? And thanks for tuning in, by the way. So the first stage is discontent. So it's when you're kind of just like not really that happy with something that's going on in your body, or how your body looks or anything like that, but it's not enough for you to really do anything about. It's just kind of like, hey, Rudy. It's just kind of like, okay, cool, well, yeah, like I'm not happy with it, but it's just like, I'm fine, it's not pushing me hard enough. And then you got the second change cycle, which is breaking point. So, then when you're just like, screw this, I'm sick of feeling this way, I want to change, I'm tired of talking about something and not getting it, blah, 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 blah. And after the breaking point, because you're so sick of whatever, in that moment, usually something's happening in the moment that sparks us feeling that way. Maybe if it is in terms of the gym, it could be maybe your clothes don't fit the right way anymore, or just anything, or maybe you're just not feeling as confident and you're like, screw this, I've had enough, I'm making a change. And then so you the third layer of the change cycle is the decision to change. So you're like, okay, cool, maybe I start looking into the gym, maybe I start looking into classes, maybe I start going for a walk often, or, but you haven't actually did the thing yet. You're just deciding. And so then the next one that pops up is fear. So now I'll remind you, you got the discontent where you're not happy with where you're at. You got the breaking point where you're thinking, fuck this, I've had enough. Then you got a decision to change. You're thinking about what action you can take to actually change or to improve the things that you're not happy with. And then fear pops in of like something that could be related to like something in the past, like, oh, I've tried this before and it didn't work. How do I even think that I can do it this time? Or, what if it really works and, then like maybe my partner, like maybe they're not supportive, or you can see that like lots of fear can come into place when people are deciding on change. And then this is my favorite one, and I don't think people realize that this is a part of the change cycle, is amnesia. Have you ever been in a situation where in the moment you are just fed up? You are convinced that this time is the last time and you're going to do something about it. You're like, yes, I am so sick and tired of this. But then what happens is the fear comes in, and before we're even doing the thing that we said we want to do, we start negotiating with ourselves like, do I really want to do that? Like, I'm not really that unhappy. What is happening is then that amnesia is when your mind and everything forgets how important doing this new thing is. Excuse me. And it forgets how you felt in that moment when you really wanted to make that change. Now, if we continue, which mostly happens, we don't end up doing the change because the amnesia sticks in. We're like, I got this, I'm lazy, I'd rather do this, blah, 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 blah. So you're just going to cycle right back around, and you'll continue staying in this change cycle until that breaking point is just enough. So really, my question to you is, if you could pick an area of your life right now that isn't working for you, that you would like to work for you, or you would like to see improvement in, what is it going to take for you to finally reach this breaking point and think, screw it, I'm going to actually think of a plan, take action, and stick to it. And even if you don't stick to it, try again, and try again, and try again. But understand that in the moments of those breakdowns, and the moment of like the breaking point where we're upset, we could be crying, we could be mad, we could feel lonely, hurt, upset, whatever is feeling in that moment, those feelings, one, are valid, and those feelings are actually how you feel about whatever it is you're feeling that way about. But what happens is we get into the amnesia stage and we forget about it, and we don't take ourselves seriously. But if you're so hurt in a moment where you're experiencing such a breakdown and a breaking point, please realize that is actually how you feel. And in order to not experience that again, you really truly have to create a plan. And I know plans can be scary and change can be scary, but if we can remember the 5 change cycles, then in the moment of us wanting to not take ourselves seriously, we can say, hey, I know what's happening here. I'm experiencing that amnesia feeling. Not today, man. Not today. Because this change for me is important. What I actually do is I write down things in the moment when I'm feeling them that I know are actually so important for me to change, because I know that later on I'm going to forget about how it felt in that moment, and I'm going to want to like slack off, or I'm going to want to do something else because I'm used to just doing that. And this over here could be confronting or take some extra effort or extra time. So I like to jot down, like, Braden, you're serious about this, man. Like, this is how you're feeling. And then I like to read it and be like, yeah, that is actually how I felt. I did feel really hurt. I do look at myself this way, or I do feel that way, or blah, 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 blah. And really getting present with sitting in those actual emotions, and then understanding that you have a choice to now create a plan to work towards change. And now I know that a lot of people want to wait for the right time, they say, or it's just not the time for me, but there is never a right time. You are responsible for making that time. And the more you do that, and the more you take yourself seriously and your goals and stuff like that, the more confidence you'll start to gain about yourself, and a more awareness and everything like that. And it's a pretty powerful thing. So, pretty much like, don't wait for a catastrophe to happen. And I can say that, I lived my life for years wanting something else, not sure how to get it, not sure how to go about it, realizing that if I wanted that lifestyle, I would most likely lose almost everyone in my life, which was fine, because the things I'm getting to spend my time on now have so much more value than what I was spending them on before. So in order to get to the top of the mountain, we got to start at the bottom. And we're going to go up, we're going to fall down, and we're going to go up, and we're going to fall down, and we're going to go up, and we're going to fall down. But when we get to the top, how beautiful the view is going to be. It's going to be like a view we never imagined was even possible for ourselves. And that's truly incredible, because what actually breaks my heart is seeing so many people in situations that aren't like good, positive situations, or like some negative things are happening. And what breaks my heart is seeing, people being bullied or being judged, or people with low self-confidence. And I'm not saying, we all experience that. We truly do. No matter how rich or successful or poor or this or fit or whatever, our mind and our ego is constantly trying to like shut us down, no matter how proud and happy we are with ourselves. So it's really important to just be continuing to work on that muscle and to really truly understand that that voice inside our head is like not out to serve us, but it's meant to break us, because the ego has one job, and it's to destroy everything but itself. And so your ego wants to be right all the time, and it just doesn't serve us, because like I said, the ego, our success isn't in our ego's best interest, which is really strange. You think it would be. But so I just want to recap that I was doing the change cycle today. Stage 1 on the change cycle is discontent, not being happy with something, but not in a position where you're pushed enough to want to actually make a change. And then you reach a breaking point thinking, F this, I'm over it, I'm tired of this happening. We all get in those. It's just like a massive breakdown, or we're crying, or we're calling a friend, and we're like, this is happening, and you get what I mean. All of us can relate to it. And then decision to change. So you're like, I'm going to change, I'm going to look at a gym membership, or I'm going to look into getting out of like this rent or this job or this relationship or everything like that. And then that's right, your decision to change. You're thinking about what you can do with it, and then that fear pops in. You don't actually think you're good enough, do you? Or you don't actually think you can do better, or they're nice to me sometimes, or my job pays the bills. So we'll always constantly look for things to justify why we're in the situation we're in, because we're so just like programmed to just stick in something. And it really takes a lot to light that fire under our ass, and for us to be like, let's go, we deserve more. But I'm telling you right now that if you've experienced any of these breaking points, which I know you have, you deserve more. And you also have to be trying for your life. So I'm not talking to people who don't try in their life and then they think their relationship's trash or whatever, and they don't actually make improvements. I'm talking to you that you have to be a better person too. But make some change. Understand that you can have more. You don't have to live your life in a low energy or negative energy, or surrounded by people who manipulate you, or a narcissist or anything like that. And then so the fourth change cycle is fear, right? Being fearful, like I said, of maybe you're not going to find another person, maybe you're not going to find another job, maybe people aren't going to, we're all just kind of get in our head. But if you can really be present with who you are and create yourself on who you want to be, you can stop putting up with all this bullshit in life and actually have a choice and choose powerfully. And then the most important cycle of the change is amnesia, because you forget how you felt in that moment, how shitty you felt, how much you wanted to change, because we're so accustomed to falling right back into what we had before. As I said, it really takes someone to light that fire under our ass for us to move. But I promise that if you take one small action towards a goal that you want to actually achieve, you will develop that confidence and that motivation, and you'll start seeing yourself in a different way. Really. I feel like we could offer people money, and some people still wouldn't stick to something no matter how much money you gave them, because they're just so in their head and thinking that who they are is who they have to be, when your past does not define you. People in your life don't define you. Your history no matter. I'm actually a huge person who, when I meet someone new for the first time, I'm not trying to talk about my past. My past isn't important. It is a story. It is something that I lived in my life, and I'd rather talk about my future and where I'm going than what happened, because I really don't give a shit, actually. And I experienced that with my ex. All she did was talk about past stuff, and it was a prime example because I believed that, and I wasn't seeing her showing up in any of that way, like in the present. But I was actually believed all of these things in her past, but it was actually not who she was at all. She was like a completely different person. So don't listen to people's stories or their past and stuff like that. Like, unless someone is right in front of you showing you that action, I mean, pick and choose what you want to believe, but like, don't believe everything everyone tells you, because like, I could tell you anything and you wouldn't know, so pay attention to people's action in life. And that's why I love this change cycle, because the more you can kind of take your life seriously and start actually creating goals and whatever. I think some people are afraid that we will. So I think some people are afraid that. Crap! I got a message and I got distracted. Some people are afraid that when we improve ourselves, we'll lose people in our life. And that's right, you will. And that's a beautiful thing, because change is beautiful. And the more you're changing, the more you're growing. And if people in your life aren't on that same page, then they're not meant to stay in your life, because they're just going to hold you back when you succeed even more. Because people who aren't trying in their life hate people who are. They do. So I hope you guys enjoyed this today. I really look forward on coming on like every day for the next month. And I'm really just going to be providing as many topics as I can possibly think of. So, yes, I see you. But I would actually appreciate not calling me cutie, though, because I'm not on the internet to be called cute or stuff like that. Appreciate the compliment, but not interested in even being called that. So, and there you go, guys. Speak the truth in your life. An amazing, amazing day. I hope you guys take on this change cycle and understand that if you're not changing anything in your life, you're choosing it. So, and that's fine that you call everyone that. I am asking you to not call me that moving forward. Cool. Thank you. Anyways, signing off with my favorite move. All right, see you guys tomorrow. Have an amazing day. And remember, take that change, because as I said, if you're not changing it, you're choosing it, which means you're enabling it, which means you don't have high expectations for yourself and you can't complain about anything. So enjoy. I don't give a fuck if you call.